These SUVs cost under $10,000, but they feel far more expensive once you step inside. Wait until you see number 3. Starting at number 1 with the 2013 Toyota RAV4 Limited, this compact SUV manages to balance practicality and comfort in a way most used vehicles under $10,000 don't. On the outside, the RAV4 presents clean, modern lines with a well-proportioned body, alloy wheels, and subtle chrome accents that give it a premium appearance. Its stance is taller than a standard sedan, providing an expansive view of the road and a sense of security while driving. Inside, the limited trim upgrades the cabin significantly. Leather-trimmed seats with contrast stitching add refinement, while the dashboard and door panels feature soft-touch materials that improve the overall feel. The driver-focused layout is straightforward, with intuitive controls for the infotainment system and audio. A sunroof adds a touch of openness, brightening the cabin and making the interior feel larger than it is. The RAV4 Limited also excels in functionality. The rear seats fold down easily, expanding cargo space for larger items. Legroom and headroom are generous for both front and rear passengers, making longer trips comfortable. On the road, it delivers a smooth and quiet ride. Suspension tuning absorbs most city bumps and highway irregularities, while the engine provides adequate power for merging and passing. Steering is responsive without being harsh, making the vehicle easy to maneuver in tight spots. Reliability is another strong point. Toyota's reputation for durable components and minimal maintenance issues makes this SUV a practical choice for buyers seeking a long-lasting used vehicle. Even with higher mileage, the 2013 RAV4 Limited maintains a solid build quality, quiet cabin, and consistent performance. Overall, it offers a combination of comfort, utility, and quality that makes it feel more expensive than its price suggests, making it an excellent option in the under $10,000 range. Next is number 2. Moving to something that focuses more on balance rather than just appearance, the 2012 to 2015 Honda CR-V XL stands out for how well everything comes together in one package. The design is simple, but not outdated. The front end has a clean layout with a wide grille and swept-back headlights, and from the side, the shape feels practical yet refined. It doesn't rely on aggressive styling, but it still carries a solid presence on the road, especially with factory alloy wheels and a higher ride height that gives it that proper SUV stance. The interior is where this trim level separates itself from lower versions. Leather seating surfaces, a well-laid-out center console, and a dashboard that avoids unnecessary clutter make it easy to settle in. Nothing feels confusing or overcomplicated. The seating position is slightly elevated, giving a clear view ahead, and visibility all around is one of its strongest points. Materials used across the cabin hold up well over time, which matters a lot in this price range. The XL trim especially changes the overall impression, because the leather seating and clean layout give it a more premium feel than most SUVs in this price range. Space is another area where this SUV delivers more than expected. Rear passengers get enough legroom to stay comfortable on longer drives, and the flat floor design makes it easier to use the full width of the back seats. The rear cargo area is also designed with usability in mind. Folding the seats creates a wide, nearly flat surface, making it practical for carrying larger items without hassle. The mechanism itself is simple and quick, which adds to the overall usability. On the road, the CR-V keeps things consistent. The suspension is tuned to handle rough city roads without making the ride feel unsettled, and at higher speeds, it remains composed without excessive body movement. Steering is light enough for daily driving but still precise enough to maintain control when needed. It doesn't try to feel sporty, and that works in its favor because the focus stays on comfort and stability. What really adds to the overall experience is how quiet and stable it feels during normal driving. Road and wind noise are kept at a level that allows conversations or music to come through clearly without needing to raise volume too much. Combined with the seating comfort and interior layout, it creates an environment that feels more refined than expected at this price point. This generation of CR-V is also known for holding up well over time, which adds to its appeal. Even with higher mileage examples, the structure, interior materials, and overall driving feel remain consistent when properly maintained. It doesn't rely on flashy details to create an impression. Instead, it focuses on usability, comfort, and a clean design that continues to feel relevant years later. It may not rely on aggressive styling, but the overall refinement and comfort make it feel like a more expensive SUV in everyday use. For anyone looking for an SUV under $10,000 that delivers a well-rounded experience without obvious compromises, this is one of the most complete options available. And the next one shifts focus again, bringing a completely different kind of design and road presence. Number 3. 2014 to 2017 Nissan Murano. This is where the list starts to shift more toward design and presence. The 2014 to 2017 Nissan Murano doesn't blend in the way most SUVs under $10,000 do. The front end is more sculpted, the grille sits wider, and the overall shape has a flowing design that looks closer to newer, higher-priced SUVs. Even from a distance, it carries a more upscale appearance compared to the typical boxy options in this range. Along the sides, the body lines are smoother and more continuous, and details like the floating-style roof design and chrome trim give it a more polished look. The proportions are slightly wider and lower than many compact SUVs, which helps it stand out without needing oversized wheels or aggressive styling. Parked next to other vehicles in this price range, it immediately looks like it belongs in a higher category. Inside, the layout focuses more on comfort and presentation. The seats are wider and more cushioned, and in higher trims, the leather surfaces and stitched panels create a more finished look. The center console flows into the dashboard in a way that feels more integrated rather than separate pieces put together. Buttons and controls are spaced out cleanly, which keeps the cabin from feeling crowded. The overall cabin environment is one of the strongest points. At normal driving speeds, outside noise is kept low, and the ride remains composed even over uneven roads. The suspension absorbs most imperfections without making the vehicle feel soft or unstable. On longer drives, the consistency in how it handles bumps and road surfaces adds to that higher-end impression. Power delivery is smooth and steady, especially when merging or accelerating onto highways. It doesn't feel strained or underpowered, which is something that often separates more refined vehicles from basic ones. The transmission keeps everything controlled without sudden shifts, adding to the overall smoothness during daily driving. Another thing that stands out is how the interior space is used. Rear passengers have enough room to sit comfortably without feeling cramped, and the cargo area is shaped in a way that makes it practical without sacrificing design. It manages to balance form and function better than most SUVs in this price bracket. What sets the Murano apart here is not just one feature, but how everything comes together. The exterior design, the interior layout, and the way it moves on the road all contribute to a more refined experience. In a lineup of SUVs under $10,000, this is one of the few that can genuinely give the impression of something significantly more expensive, especially when kept in good condition. And the next one takes a completely different direction, focusing less on size and more on compact design with a premium touch. Now for number 4. Not every SUV in this price range tries to stand out with size, and that's where the 2015 to 2016 Buick Encore takes a different approach. Instead of going bigger, the focus here is on a more compact shape with details that lean toward a higher-end look. The front design is simple but refined, with a signature grille and subtle chrome accents that give it a more polished appearance than most small SUVs. From the outside, the proportions are tighter and more controlled, which actually works in its favor. It doesn't look oversized or bulky, and that gives it a cleaner, more composed presence on the road. In well-kept condition, the paint finish, wheel design, and trim details come together in a way that feels more premium than expected at this price point. The interior is where this model shifts the focus even further. Instead of a basic layout, the cabin uses a layered dashboard design with soft touch materials and a more refined finish across the panels. In higher trims, the leather seating and stitched surfaces give it a noticeably upgraded feel compared to typical entry-level SUVs. The center area is arranged neatly, with controls that are easy to reach without feeling cluttered. Seating comfort is another strong point. The front seats are shaped to provide support over longer drives, and the driving position feels natural without needing constant adjustment. Despite the smaller exterior size, the cabin doesn't feel cramped for front occupants, and the layout makes efficient use of the available space. And the final one on this list brings everything together with a stronger balance between design, driving feel, and overall presentation. Now finally, number 5. Closing out the list is the 2013 to 2015 Mazda CX-5 Grand Touring, and this one leans heavily on overall balance. It doesn't rely on one specific area to stand out, but instead builds its appeal through how everything connects together. The exterior design is clean and well-shaped, with a front end that looks sharp without being overly aggressive. The lines flow naturally from front to back, giving it a more refined and complete appearance. The stance plays a big role here. It sits with a slightly wider look compared to some compact SUVs, and that gives it a more planted presence on the road. Combined with alloy wheels and subtle detailing, it carries a look that feels more aligned with newer and higher-priced models. What makes the CX-5 Grand Touring stand out is how it combines design, structure, and driving feel into one package. Nothing feels exaggerated, but everything works together in a way that gives it a more complete and refined character. In the under $10,000 range, it's one of the few SUVs that manages to deliver that kind of balance while still maintaining a strong visual presence.